Welcome to The Sober Gay, a podcast about being sober in the LGBT community and beyond. I'm your host, Dillan Gay, and yes, that is my real last name. Hey, Aubrey.
Hello, Dylan.
Dillan, Aubrey.
Ooh, I think we got some fun topics today.
Ooh, okay, so we have lightly talked about this probably like a year ago on the show.
Yeah.
But
a year ago.
But we're gonna be talking about my neck, my back, my asshole, and my crack.
Oh my gosh, does that mean we are talking about that beautiful, lovely word? Yes.
Sex and sex drive.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I've never been a hypersexual person. I've had flings and I've had, different, periods of my life where I was very promiscuous, but it never drew out very long. Honestly, my promiscuous were more like little flings here and there, and then I would kind of reserve myself. I know that's not particularly the norm for a lot of gay men. But I've always just felt different about my energy and like the energy exchange with another human being. I'm not saying I'm prude, but I will say that I used alcohol a lot to express my sexual desires a lot. Getting into sobriety and being sober, I was not horny or anything at all for the longest time. And then I feel like something came over me when I got more confident in my sobriety where I wanted to explore my sexual side again. And I wanted to, kind of see what, because like I said, in sobriety, we learn so much about ourselves because we do all that work on ourselves. We learn more about us. And I'll say porn doesn't hit the same way as it used to. It's so weird to me. I can definitely like lose a boner now by watching porn. And I feel like it's because I've tied a little more of spirituality to my sex life. Whereas now I crave intimacy and I crave like, touching and breathing and just like being romantic and stuff like that. And that's why I've been alone. Not doing anything about it because it is a very like intimate exchange for me, and I do feel, sex is a little sacred to me. I don't know.
No, I get that. I do. I think for me, I'm kind of the opposite. I feel
know, I
like
love that's why we could talk about this.
I got super, super like my sex drive went up. And let me tell you, I've already had a pretty high sex drive. For it to go up, it was a big deal for me. And I
Yeah.
was kind of like, I had this opposite where I was being flooded with so much of this like sexual drive that I didn't know how to handle it.
And that's when you first got sober?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. I put myself out there quite a bit when I first got sober, and I feel like I was able to hold myself more and be able to like chat with these people longer. So I actually had more of a connection during that, but also I just wanted that intimacy as well. But for me, that touch, all of that is like an add-on to just being as intimate as possible. For me, it's not an act that I would say is highly like valued in my life. It's something that's there, that it's something that I think we do, and I think that that's where I'm different in it. It's just innate for me to want to just go out and have sex all the time.
But that's I would say that's like that's a normal healthy response as well though. Like I don't think either of our lifestyles is unhealthy.
Yeah.
I think it's just like what we had to do, what we had to go through. We just have different experiences with it.
Yeah, I feel I was able to kind of explore more of what I liked when it came to sex, because for me, I feel like especially drunk sex, it was just kind of like get it in there, do it, and you're done. And that's what
Yeah.
it is, because you couldn't really do anything else. But for me, I want to have fun with it. I want to try everything. most things are not off limits to me. You
Ooh.
know, like seriously,
Yeah.
I realized that since getting sober because I have been able to explore that stuff a little bit more. So like for me, I just want to have that fun and like getting to understand why things are sexy and why things are like fun to do and what makes what other ways can I enjoy this act and get like the maximum amount of pleasure out of it.
Yeah. I definitely noticed my sexual energy is a lot stronger. Like, whereas before when I was, drinking all the time, I thought I was super sexy, and I thought alcohol gave me this, like, essence of, being mysterious and
Mm,
sexy and hot, and it didn't give me the same sexual kind of, what am I saying? Like, the aura I have now where
mhm,
I feel it now where I can walk into a room and I can command the room
mm,
just with my energy. And
mm.
I can like, it's just a different confidence about myself. I'm not cocky, I'm not trying to, like, be overly confident so where I'm obviously covering up something or compensating for something. It's like, I can just present myself,
Mhm.
and if you don't like it, I don't care. It's not gonna be like where in the past I felt like I had to make everyone attracted to me or feel the need to, like, make everyone like me or be attracted or think I'm hot, you know?
It almost like for me and this was one of my exes that they had to be at least somewhat drunk to have sex because they just didn't
Yeah.
have confidence in who they were as a person when it came to that. They were like so nervous. So I'm wondering like if that's part of it too, is like I know I used alcohol to help with that confidence as well because it is a scary act
Yeah.
too. It is scary because you're kind of being vulnerable in a way of being like, this is my whole body. This is everything that I have to show.
Yeah. I speaking of your hole, I had never even had my ass eaten out, like, sober until recently. It was,
Wow.
just, like, stuff like that, like, I thought about, like, well, yeah, I mean, people have eat my ass out before, but, like, doing it with, like, while being sober just, like, felt completely different. I
Mm.
think we want to enjoy sex more with alcohol, but we don't realize how much it's actually blocking off receptors inside of
Inhibiting
us.
so much.
'Cause girl, I was biting the damn pillow. I could like, I was like, "Wow." Like, clean me out like a
This guy
McDonald's
has
ice
some
cream
magic
machine.
tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, McFlurry. But, um,
Ah. He's used a lot of baby bottle pops in his life.
yeah, yeah. But I will say he instantly turned me off afterward because he was like, "Was that the best you've ever had your ass eaten?"
Oh.
Why did he say that?
Oh, people, confidence. They need that
Yeah.
pride and
He
knowing
was
that
drunk.
mm,
He was drunk.
see, they need that pride to make sure that they're doing things okay. That's the other thing is like when I was drinking, am I doing this right? Am I doing this okay? Am I okay? Is everything feeling good? And it's like, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, boo boo, calm down.
Yeah.
They're having sex with you. You're doing great.
Yeah, if they're here and they're just enjoying it whatsoever, you're doing the damn thing.
hmm
Um, I am not afraid of sex, but I'm afraid of sex. I think sex stinks. Like, it smells bad a lot of the time. I think maybe
Interesting.
I think I could be a little oversensitive to pheromones though, because sometimes like a man's musk will just make me wild. Whereas other times I'm like, you stink. Like, like,
There are specific like there's specific times where it's just like yes and then no. And it
no.
depends on I feel like it depends on their lifestyle and what they're
Yeah.
doing too.
Yeah. I can smell alcohol in
Mhm.
someone's sweat. Like, I feel like even if they weren't drinking, I can smell the sweat, like the alcohol in the sweat.
Detoxing itself out.
It makes me think about all the times that I used to, like, go and sneak home from drinking at, the bar I worked at after work, and then I'd sneak home to my boyfriend at the time and be like, "Oh, I didn't even have anything to drink." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "Dylan, you had, like, 10 gin and tonics." He
Mhm.
knew. You were
Mhm.
sleeping right next to him, sweating out, in our little country bumpkin house that didn't have air conditioning. I was sweating out all
Mm.
that gin. I was a gin drinker at that point, and gin reeks. Like
Yes, it does.
it's so strong.
Yes, it does. Did you ever do that? Like, okay, vodka's the least smelliest, so that's what I need to do. And then,
I would just try. I was an idiot, and I would always just be like, smoking weed, and then I would smoke a cigarette to cover up the smell of the
mm,
weed, and then I would chew gum to cover up all the weed alcohol smells. And then I come in just smelling like a freaking
minty
like an
ashtray.
ashtray. Yeah, I would just end up smelling like a freaking bar ashtray that had all the beers dumped into it at the end of the
Oh,
night.
I did that so many times. I was like, yeah, cigarette will help it go away. And then there's also drink some coffee as well, because coffee's strong.
And then you just end up reeking, just
Yep.
all the smells.
Yep, it was never good, and I agree, it's like anytime you went to go like, I would go home and lay down next to my ex at the time, like, I knew I smelled like,
Yeah.
and they would be like, "Did you drink today?" And I'd be like, "No."
No, I didn't. I only had one drink.
I would say, "No, I had nothing," and they'd be like, "Oh, I thought I smelled it on your breath." I don't know what you're talking about, I work around beer.
Yeah.
That was my excuse.
Yeah, I think I was always a giveaway because I would be very much less responsible
Mm,
during my drunken times. Obviously, those are the times I would say, the condom doesn't matter as much in certain times, or like, just fuck me raw. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, those things
yeah,
will come out way easier when you're drunk. You know what I mean? Whereas now, um, I had a hookup not too long ago with this guy who wanted to, put it in without a condom. And I was like, no, I was like, I have a condom. It's not like we don't have one. And
yeah,
I was just very adamant on it. And he put it on. It was fine. It was just like, but I could see where he had a couple drinks and he would just did not give a fuck.
yeah.
Whereas I was like, okay, Dylan, you're the voice of reason. You're the sober one. Am I bad for like? It sounds like I'm preying on like drunk people now.
Not at all.
Like I'm only having sex with drunk people. It's not like that.
It just happens to be that we live in a society where most people drink, and I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but that's again, we've talked about this on this
yeah,
podcast. Is we're in the LGBTQ community where we are pandered to every day to drink.
yeah. If we're having sex and it's dark out, odds are one half of the people participating in the sex is drunk or had
Yeah,
some kind of inebriation.
yeah. It's so and it's sad to like see that because you do see those, you see it, and people making these like decisions that aren't necessarily something they would make if they weren't, drinking.
Yeah, the passion doesn't get to you as much when you have a clear mindset going into it. You're not like, you can't just throw away your morals so quickly now. It's like because you're
I
you're
still
there.
can.
Yeah, you're like raw dog it raw.
I will once I God, when I get into that mode, it's all over from there. I do lose control and it's pretty bad sometimes. I might need to go to Sex Anonymous, but that's okay.
I mean, what is Sex Anonymous? Do you really need it?
No, no, I don't.
I
I just
shouldn't say it like that.
no, I just think that when I do get into that like pleasure state and that like moment when like things are really going and that like I will lose everything and I'll be like, let's just go for it. Let's just go raw dog it in.
That's the
Let me do
Scorpio,
all
isn't
it
it?
in you. Yeah, it
It's
is.
the Scorpio.
Yeah, I think so. Or is it the Cancer? I don't think it's the Cancer.
What is your Where's Cancer in your
I mean,
placement?
Cancer is the rising.
You're rising as a Cancer?
Wait. So yeah, rising's Cancer.
Oh, wow. You have a lot of water.
Yeah, I'm a Sagittarius
It's
moon.
moon. Oh, we both have a sun in water and a moon in fire.
Yes, we've talked about
Yeah, because
yes.
I'm a Pisces sun, Leo moon
Yes.
with a Taurus rising,
Ooh.
which makes me like grounded. I don't know. If astrology people out there, does our sexual lifestyle make sense with our signs?
Right?
Honestly,
Scorpio sun, moon is the Sagittarius, and rising is the Cancer. It might be Cancer's the moon and Sagittarius is rising.
I think that sounds more right
That
for
does
you.
sound right. I think that's right.
But yeah, anyway.
Please put your thoughts down below.
Put your thoughts in our hole. Fill our holes with your comments.
They've been empty for a while.
Mine has. I mean, I think I could still count on one hand how many times I've had sex this year.
Mm.
So, I mean, when I say, like, "Oh, I had a hookup recently," usually the hookups I'm talking about were all the same one. It's like I don't have many points of reference here. Um, but I will say that a lot of that came with the confidence in getting my body right, and getting my body back to where I like it, which came naturally from being
Mm.
sober, which just lets me know I'm on the right track,
Yeah.
and I know that I'm not gonna, like, die alone, and if I do, it's fine. Honestly, fuck it, I don't care.
Right?
I'm at a point where I'm so okay with who Dylan is and who I present to the world that my solitude, I am totally happy, you know?
Yes, I get it. Oh my gosh, I get it. We all need that.
Yeah.
We all need that to our that time to ourselves anyway.
And to
And
be
I
able to jerk off without using porn is, like
ooh.
yeah, it's, like, groundbreaking. It's, like I feel like it's, like, back whenever I used to, like, first understand what jerking off was for me when I was younger. It was just, like, I didn't need all the stimulation and the help to get there, where now I feel like I'm reverting back to that, where
Mm.
I feel more pleasure when I can, like, put out someone in my head and, like, make it like a fantasy where I'm involved in it, and it's almost like
Mm.
manifesting at the same time, I feel like. My perfect partner being manifested, or maybe, I don't know.
I love that. I
But
hope it
yeah.
happens.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, the porn's not really doing it for me at this stage of my sobriety. Um, uh, I mean, I still watch it, but I mean, there's plenty of times now where I'll start watching porn and I don't like finish. I just kind of like get bored with
I
it.
feel like porn never has been a thing for me where I just like sit and watch like I don't get how people can sit there for like 20, 30, 40 minutes
Oh
and
my
watch the whole
God.
porn video. Like who has time for that? I'm like,
Yeah.
let me get to the good scene really quick, jerk off, and we're
Yeah,
done.
seriously. There was this one guy I was talking to on Hinge that was like, we were like having a casual conversation. I was like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And he's like, "Been edging for 6 hours." Like,
Ah!
take a walk. like, like, do the dishes. Like, you got responsibilities, man. Like,
I've been edging for six. That's
6 hours.
so
Yeah, he
much.
said he was edging for 6 hours. That was also the same person. Oh no, 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 no. Never mind. That was a different person. He was an Aries. I don't know why that's important.
If you're in Aries, let us know if you edge
Edge for
for
six
6 hours.
hours. Is that common? I mean, I'm not trashing it.
No, I no, I know. I just
But, like,
it's
I was like, "But this is, like, the 3rd time we're talking," and I was like, "That's just not how I wanna jig and wanna vibe with someone, I guess." It's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing like, he's gonna find his person to edge with for 6 hours, and they're
yeah.
gonna edge into eternity, and so
Yeah.
they're g they're gonna walk down the rainbow edging bridge to the cruising spot in heaven where they can
Let
edge.
me just say, if you can do that for 6 hours, props to you because I would start thinking it would get raw after about an
That would hurt
hour.
me. I like who I don't know, that I mean, that's some great self-control. Maybe that's a good practice he was working on, but I don't know. I just don't see the appeal in edging for 6 hours.
No, I mean like 30 minutes.
Do you think he was being truthful? Do you think he was really edging for 6
I
hours?
would I believe that there are people who do that, yes.
They
And
do
I
do.
oh yeah, they do.
They do with their edging.
They like to explore how quickly I mean, it's like the chastity belts and things like that. People like to like work on that like how long can I like hold out for someone and it's almost like this like um it's a control thing and it's not necessarily control for yourself but also control for the other person to be able to like when you have another partner like with you having them like stop before you come is almost like this like oh, you're about to make me have this like super exciting orgasm. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're like, nope, haha, just kidding. We're going to calm that down a
That's the
little bit.
energy buildup. See, I
Yeah.
would love to explore that with someone that I was, like, 100% comfortable with. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to let myself go that much on, like, a hookup.
Yeah. I think I do think that that's something a lot more that requires you to be involved with that person, at least in some way more than just like a hookup. Because I do think that it's a you're going to be with them for a long time if you want to do that. And it can be fun.
Yeah. I have been watching a lot of stuff on, like, Tantra and, learning about that, energy flow between two bodies, that can just exchange and be comfortable with each other. I think that's all sounds so very appealing to me, honestly. But I don't have anyone to share that with right now, and that's totally okay. I'm not actively like, I need to find a boyfriend. Like at this part of my sobriety, I've been single since 6 years now. I've been single
Mhm.
for 6 years now. And it's like I don't care. I'm not dying to meet someone. I know and I trust the universe enough that I know it's gonna happen for me,
Yeah.
but I'm not rushing to find it. It's like I know it'll come to me when it's time, when it's
Yeah.
due. But I do feel much more confident in my headspace now to go into having sex than I did, back when I was drinking all the time.
Mhm.
Just different mindset.
Well, and you can go into it confident knowing that it's your choices and what you truly want out of that situation. It's not gonna be like a give and take because you're drunk and you might give up using a condom
Yeah, or
because
do those stupid mistakes
Mhm.
and things like that and let yourself go. And I mean, we've talked about it before. I got SA'd sexually,
Mhm.
I taken advantage of
Mhm.
when I was drunk in a rideshare
Mm.
app. And I'm not saying that I regret anything that happened because that taught me such a lesson in my life that, I was way more vulnerable than I needed to be and way too much trust in random strangers and way, like just allowing myself to get to a point of
Mm.
blackout to where I could just not even realize. And I came to in the middle of him, going down on me and like, what the fuck? It's just
Mhm.
like that situation would have never been there without the alcohol, but I would never see the other side if I wouldn't have been there. So it's like I said, I don't regret it, my past. I don't regret all the drinking. It's shown me a side of myself that I had to learn to conquer and appreciate to be authentically who Dylan is now in his sex life.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Authentic Dylan.
Authentic Dylan, because authentic Dylan wants to get nasty.
Yep. So does authentic Aubrey.
Well, I think that comes to the end of this.
Oh, it's over already?
I know. We talked
Can
about
we just edge
sex.
a little longer?
Yes. Okay. So the rest of the episode is going to be 6 hours of us edging. Okay, Aubrey, if people want to edge us online, where can they find us online?
Well, they can either go to the Sober Gay Podcast on Instagram. They could go to thesobergay@gmail.com and send us a nice little comment about today's episode.
Oh, yeah.
Or they can also find us at thesobergay.com
Mm.
and they can just do all of that through there.
Yeah, you can leave us a tip. You can get some merch if you want a t-shirt. We got a cool sober t-shirt on there that's not really merchy. It's more of just like fun, sober, gay, queer stuff. Yeah,
Mm.
check it out, thesobergay.com. And until next time, stay
Stay
sober,
sober,
girl.